Hi there, it's Josh for the blog. We're in the dining hall. This is proof. I just finished a delicious dinner of portobello mushroom fajitas, Spanish rice,
Very good.
some guacamole. It's delicious. But we're here with Reid, our Yalie of the week, our featured Yalie. So basically, I'm just going to ask him some questions about what it's like to live in Alaska.
Awesome.
And I guess to start out, where exactly do you live in Alaska? Because it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, well, I live on the northwest coast, just above the Arctic Circle. So if you have your state kind of like this, I live about there. It's a ways up there. It's like 550 miles northwest of Wasilla, which seems to be what everyone knows these days.
So I was actually looking up Kotzebue on Google Maps. Did I say it right?
Yeah, that's right.
And I noticed that there are absolutely no driving directions to New Haven, Connecticut. How do you get to Yale?
Well, that makes perfect sense because there's no roads out of Kotzebue. To get anywhere, you basically have to fly. And if you don't want to fly, you can try to drive in your snowmobile or snow-go a couple hundred miles to the nearest road. But other than that, it's basically airplanes. So there are no roads that connect my town to the rest of the world.
So where's the nearest airport for you?
Because there's no roads, our town actually has an airport. We have a full-size 5,000-foot runway, lands 3 737s a day. So a town of 3,000 people gets 3 full-size jets a day. It's pretty nice.
So you can charter a flight from like New Haven to Chicago, and then get to Kotzebue from there?
You'd have to have quite a bit of money to actually charter a flight.
Oh.
But you can, when I fly home, I'm going to fly from Hartford to Minneapolis to Anchorage to Kotzebue. Or I also go through Seattle sometimes.
Seattle,
yes.
Thank you, Justin. Is that like a 24-hour flight? How long does that take?
The total trip takes about 20 hours. When I leave for break, I'll leave Phelps Gate like 5:30 a.m. and I'll be home at 8 p.m. Alaska time.
Now, watching your video, I noticed a lot of wilderness,
Yes.
a lot of explorations. And you mentioned one of your favorite things was that there was almost nothing in Alaska.
That's
So
very
it's all
true.
about exploration. What kind of stuff do you do?
I mean, I do spend a lot of my time in town, but what I really like doing out there is we just go camping. We go out to, we have some friends who have camps out in the country. One of them, the Eatons, is in the video. We have other camps that we set up. We go to a duck hunting camp. We just take a tent out and camp out on a sandbar. And you're probably never going to see anyone else there, which is just awesome.
Do you have any particular stories of your camping experiences that you mind sharing?
Particular stories? Well, we definitely have had some very cold camping experiences where you go out camping and it's pretty nice, and the next day it starts raining a little, and then it starts turning to snow, and then it's snowing in June. So we have those kinds of experiences. We have animal experiences. One time we went up the Noatak River, which is pretty near to Kotzebue, and we set up our camp on a sandbar, and then we went up this little slough out to this lake for a day trip. And when we got back, we noticed that our frying pan had been moved, and that our tents were slightly beat up. And we looked into the tents, and we realized that we had a bear get into our tents. And we had one of the tents was pretty beat up. We had some poles bent. We had the books we'd brought now had claw holes in them, like all the way through the book. So that night we packed up camp pretty quick, hopped in the boat. We actually saw the bear from the boat. He was walking along the shore. We fired a warning shot at him, drove a couple miles up the river, built a huge bonfire, and camped out in a different spot that night.
Now, do you hunt at all?
I do some hunting. I mean, I've never actually shot a caribou or a moose, but my parents have, and then I do the hauling, so they shoot it, they skin it, then all the kids get to carry the bags of meat back to the boat. And
exciting.
As for actual hunting, I've shot birds, ducks, geese, whatever.
Or was just lying around?
Well, we build these little duck blinds. We'll go down onto the beach and we'll cut down some willows, and we'll build this little blind out of willows and crouch down behind them. and wait for some ducks to fly by the front and then stand up and give it our best shot.
Now, your town's very small.
Yes.
3,000 people.
Uh-huh.
Very isolated
I was
space.
gonna say, I thought you
What are some
before
things
you
that
videos,
you
man.
think that we take for
I ran
granted?
up there to see if you were
That,
going up.
when you
so
came to
shout
Yale,
out
you
to
realized that.
Yeah, that's
Well,
me.
what the rest of the world takes for granted is basically that you can get what you need. That, I mean, at home, if you need some piece for your car, some piece for your computer, some electronic something, there's absolutely no guarantee you're going to be able to get it there. We just have a couple stores. If the weather's bad for a couple days, they'll run out of bread, they'll run out of milk. It's just, I mean, it's just so hard to get things there. It's so expensive to get things there also. And you just got to kind of be a bit more innovative, because if stuff goes wrong, you got to be ready for it.
All right. Let's move into a bit of politics talk, because Alaska's been in the news recently for some things. I guess, what's your city government like? I mean, if you only have 3,000 people, is it anything special?
I don't know a whole lot about city government. I mean, of course, the mayor's just kind of regular guy in the community. So's the borough mayor, so like our county, whatever the county leaders are called, I'm not sure. But our borough mayor's just another regular citizen.
How about oil companies? Do you have any oil companies around?
Well, we're not near the big Prudhoe Bay oil fields, but there is an interesting story about oil companies. Shell Oil wants to do some offshore drilling kind of near our town.
Okay.
So they gave the school district $1 million grant to buy computers out of the goodness of their heart.
Wow.
And they didn't mention that a number of the major regional players happen to sit on the regional school board. So that's kind of how the oil companies work.
Wow, that's so cool. I guess one last question. As an Alaskan, any views on Sarah Palin?
Well, definitely 3 months ago, I would have said she's doing a fine job as governor. I would have been one of the 80% who approved. I think I'd still say she's doing a good job as governor, though I don't necessarily like her personally anymore.
Well, that's too bad, because everybody loves Sarah Palin.
Maybe if she wasn't in politics, I'd like her a little more.
Well, Reid's got to go up to SAC laser tagging. I've got to go out to whatever I'm going to do next. And Reid, it's been great talking to you.
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome video.
Thanks for interviewing me, Josh.
And it's good to know more about you.
I hope you like it.
See you guys.